Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, breaking down the Huskers. We've got Greg Peterson on the line from Husker Online and also doing work all season for Rivals. If you would like to see a dedicated Nebraska live stream right here at the voice of college football, please let us know down in the comments section. So that's the front end of the career. Then there's the back end of the career collegiately, whether that leads to the NFL or some other vocation. Muhammad Berry, gone. Lamar Jackson, gone. Khalil Davis, gone. Darian Daniels, gone. I believe J.D. Spielman's going to be gone, as well as Kanawai Noah, just to name a few. So those key personnel losses, run them down for us, and maybe some of the bigger ones that you think are going to leave a huge void, and maybe those other guys that need to step up and make a bigger impact in 2020.
Well, obviously, the top two guys that they're going to hurt the most is Lamar Jackson and Muhammad Berry. Lamar's going to play on Sundays for sure. Muhammad was the heart and soul of that senior class, and then you mentioned the defensive linemen that are leaving. That's gonna be tough to overcome, but Nebraska does have tons and tons of young guys ready to step in and replace these guys. So, I mean, it doesn't sound as bad as you kind of made it sound out to be, with all those seniors and everything. J.D. Spielman, he's not going anywhere. He needs another year of college ball. So, it's just going to be filling those holes there. And, most of that's on the defense. You don't lose hardly any offensive firepower whatsoever. Kind of I know was a fifth-year senior, was only here for a year. And like I mentioned earlier, you've got a bunch of receiving talent coming in here this year to kind of restock that stable after a disappointing year, and which is leading to some changes in the Nebraska coaching staff as well. So you're going to see quite a bit of different looks out in Nebraska next year as far as personnel. So, you've got on that defensive line so many guys in here that have put in some time in the last couple of years and will now step up and get their chances. And, I love what on the back end of that defense, Travis Fisher done an amazing job recruiting the last couple of years. He nabbed 7 guys out of the state of Florida this year. And, a lot of size. Like we've talked about before, they love the size of the corners. He likes to get guys that can either play corner or safety. And, he's done a great job restocking that. That was a real depleted position group when Scott Frost and his staff took over here. So, Nebraska fans got to be patient. It takes a few years to build this the way they want to. And, back-to-back top 20 recruiting classes are the way to do it. Nebraska's just never going to be able to get, these kind of recruiting classes that you see from Alabama and Clemson and, those schools. So I like what's going on here, and I think people are going to be impressed next season.
Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We're talking college football each and every day, all season, all off season. We got Greg Peterson on the line from Husker Online. Also catch him on Rivals. Greg, you alluded to coaching changes. Every staff across the country experiences them every offseason. It's just the nature of the business. It's a nomadic business. Guys are looking for opportunities elsewhere. And unfortunately, if teams underachieve, guys lose jobs as well. But you also mentioned continuity and talked about continuity in the coaching staff. Where do we stand on that? Who's coming? Who's going?
Well, so far, special teams coordinator, outside linebackers coach Javon DeWitt has moved on. He took the same position job at North Carolina under Mac Brown. So Nebraska just announced yesterday that his replacement is former defensive line coach Mike Dawson, who went to the New York Giants last year, and unfortunately that whole staff doesn't have a job anymore. So he's coming in and taking over the outside linebackers position, original member of Scott Frost's staff. So, not really a new face coming in there, but a welcome back face. Now, the interesting things are on the offensive side right now, and this is all fluid right now. Offensive line coach Greg Austin has got a bump. He's now been named the rush game coordinator. So the big talk is just kind of moving here the last couple of days. Offensive coordinator Troy Walters was scheduled to be out recruiting, especially like in the Omaha area, and he is no longer going to be out. Nebraska's sending an assistant, a non-field coach is taking over his responsibilities here this week. So there's a lot of speculation going on with Coach Walters right now. And Nebraska has been interviewing for an empty spot all week. They've interviewed, I think, 7 guys, and I don't want to get into names here because, they're being under consideration for a lot of other jobs right now too. But one of the big names here that has been rumored about, a lot of chatter going on, is Mickey Joseph, former Nebraska quarterback. He is currently the wide receivers coach at LSU. And he was at the White House yesterday with the team, so, kind of a lull in what's going on with him. Interesting thing here is I was talking about earlier with Chris Drain, the wide receiver, that's supposed to be here this weekend for an official visit, as long as he can get in with the weather we're having. He was once committed to Mickey Joseph at LSU. So kind of an interesting little nuance going on there. So as it stands right now, we are waiting to hear what's going on here with because they're definitely hiring another coach. We know that much. And we just don't know when and what that position title will be. So that's kind of the big news going on here. It's got everybody on the edge of their seats and has the rumor mill just flying around there.